Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. What is it? New Jersey State Board Prep with Miss C. Okay, so I've done a lot for you guys. I'm getting there. We're getting to the whole State Board practical exam. Yay! So our next part is the hairstyling portion of the exam. And with this portion, they're going to give you about 2 minutes to section your mannequin hair in 4 sections, which we already did. So you should be already used to sectioning at this point in the game. You should be sectioning right away. That's why it's good to come with a mannequin that's easy to work with, clean hair, uh, soft. It's comparable to 100% human hair. Try to stay away from mannequin hair that's hard to work with. I've seen some students wanting to bring a black doll with very tough, coarse, textured hair. Don't do that. It dries up a lot. It's not that, it's easy to work with if it was on a human, but on a mannequin, don't do it. Don't make your life complicated. Stick with a zebra. Stick with a Sam. That if you're a student, you're gonna get that supplied with your kit. If you're a seasoned stylist, you're getting licenses in the state of New Jersey, you may not have that opportunity. You may have to buy a zebra. So check Amazon, but make sure she's as close to 100% human hair. Is this really like 100% human hair that comes from a human? No, but it's close. It's close. It can, it's easy to work with. So again, work easy, not hard. That's what I say. Okay. So the hairstyling portion, they're going to give you about 2 minutes to section your mannequin into 4 quadrants. And what do I have waiting for you? Your hairstyling bag. Don't mind my dog. My dog is barking at other dogs. So pay attention to me. So in the description, remember, like, share, and subscribe to my channel. If this content is going to help you, hopefully pass your state board, and it's going to help somebody else, like, share, subscribe, and let them know that practicing with Miss C is the way to go. Okay. So this is going to be your hairstyling bag. And in this bag, when they tell you to take out your hairstyling items, which is going to be your hair pressing, your braiding, your blow drying, your dry set comb out, and your thermal curling, you're going to have it in this bag. And believe it or not, everything fits there. Okay. So what I'm going to, in the descriptions, put down everything you need for your hairstyling bag. So we have our hairspray. This is optional, but it's good to have in case you're not a great teaser. You have to tease the hair in the right front quadrant, and some people are not good with the 80s style, and we have to see you tease. And this hairspray is gonna help you. Okay, I'll explain that in a minute. Everything goes on with your leave out items, okay? So you're gonna put everything on your towel nice and neat. You need a blow dryer. Now, back in the day when I took the exam, you needed a blow dryer with a nozzle. What do I tell my students? If they don't have a nozzle, you're not gonna fail if there's no concentrator. Uh, they accept you with a blow dryer with or without a nozzle. It's fine. But if you're a real professional, old school like me, you know, to get a good blow dry, you got to have that concentrator in there, right? Because it's a necessity. This is brand new right out of the box. So actually, when you bring in, you're not plugging anything in. Let's get this straight. You're not really using, like we did the shaving, everything was mocked, right? You're not wetting your towels. You can wet the hair with hairspray. That's about it. Not hairspray, with the water bottle. But there's no sink. You cannot use the electric there. So everything is pretty much mocked. You won't be plugging in your electrical equipment. So professionally, if you're not plugging anything in, you should wrap up those cords. Don't leave them hanging, because you want to show also, not that you'll fail if the cords are hanging, but it'll fit better in your bag, is what I tell my students. And you don't have these cords hanging while you're demonstrating this. So it shows also safety. So not only do we sanitize and we're clean, but we're also being safe, because at the salon, we don't want these cords hanging anywhere on the floor. And I try not to have cords, electrical cords hanging anywhere. And if they're going through students, I always am right behind them saying, watch the cord, watch the cord, watch the cord. So it's a safety issue, and it makes you look more professional and safety wise. So make sure that your cords are wrapped up like they came out of the box, okay? So you have your blow dryer with your concentrator. So you're gonna put that right on. They tell you to take out you need a marcel iron. This is very important. A lot of people do not work with marcel irons these days, but guess what? The State Board of New Jersey does not allow you to bring the spring push one. If you bring that one and you're doing the thermal curling with it, you pretty much failed, because it's not allowed. The only thermal curling waving iron is the marcel. So if you're not used to this one, oof, you're gonna have to get used to it, or just take whatever. It's either a pass or fail at the state board. So again, get a little rubber band. This one has been kind of used. It's not straight out the box, but I made sure that my cord is just enough where it hangs, but it's not hanging on the floor because I wrapped it up. Okay, so marcel iron, nothing gets plugged in, so that has to come out. You're gonna be working with already a Rattail comb that's already at your leave out items. Also in the bag, you have a round brush. Now for the blow drying portion, you don't need to have a round brush. You can use a paddle brush, you can use a vent brush, you can use any brush is acceptable. Old school again. If you're gonna do a blow dry, you're gonna use a round brush. And that's what I teach my students. Unless we're doing a rough dry, you know, but you're gonna take the state board, the round brush. Okay. You're gonna need an old-fashioned hair pressing conventional brass. Make sure it's clean. So if you have one in the salon that's used and it's kind of like brown because it's been used so much, I would take baking soda and a little lemon and water. It comes right off. If it's really, really old, doesn't come up, and that's all you have, fine. But this is about $10 or $12 at Amazon. And then they're the ones that you plug in. But again, you're not going to be plugging anything in. So you can get the ones with the cords, just wrap up that cord it's not a safety issue when the examiner is walking by. She's not stepping on your cord. Your cord's not on the floor. Okay, so safety first, and you want to show them that. So you're going to need this. And I labeled with my label maker a little bit of rubber bands. You're not going to need but just one for the braid. You're only going to do one braid or a panel. Really is your preference. You have 5 minutes to do it. And then I put some roller clips, like 2 of them, because with the marcel iron, you're going to demonstrate at least 2 curls. One is a barrel, one is a number 6. If you don't know what they are, today you're in luck. I'm going to show you. Okay, so all that gets put on your table. Okay, so let's begin. You don't have to sanitize your hands because you've already sanitized your hands, but if you want to, that's fine. In the left front quadrant, you're going to perform a uh, a braid. Okay, that's the first thing you're gonna perform. So I love these butterfly clips. I know they're old school, but I'm gonna be honest with you, they comb the hair. Because I always wonder, like, this grabs the hair, this snags it. No, they comb the hair, so I love it. And then they just go on the other side. So if I need it, it's right there. Okay, you're gonna perform a on the scalp braid in the left front quadrant of your hair of your mannequin, and you have 5 minutes to do so. A lot of my students says, do I have to braid the whole quadrant? No. If you want to just do an invisible braid or a visible braid, you got to know the difference by now, guys. But for those seasoned stylists that forgot and that don't do braiding, an invisible braid is your French braid and it goes over. And your visible braid is your cornrow or your Dutch braid. You could do a fishtail braid, but it has to be an on the scalp braid. Okay, and then on the end, and then towards the end, you just fasten it. They're gonna tell you to stop. You may not have time. Maybe you run out of time. If you're that like perfectionist when it comes to braiding, and you're gonna take your time, you're gonna use the whole 5 minutes. I'm gonna be honest right now. At the exam, they're probably just gonna say after 2 minutes time. And once an examiner's seen that you've done the braid at least halfway on the scalp, you're pretty much good. Okay, so you're gonna take 5 minutes to do a braid. Most of the time I don't even think about the braid that I'm gonna do, and usually I just go ahead and take a diagonal section and I just start braiding. You don't need a comb in your hand. All you need is your fingers, and it has to be 3-strand braid. So I'm gonna go ahead and do a cornrow, and I'm gonna cornrow. Now, you're going to probably have to watch a video on either Dutch braiding or cornrowing, because I'm not here to show you that. I'm here to show you what to expect, how to prep, how to perform your braid and all your steps, okay? So I just performed. It's not the best braid, but if I'm testing and you want an on the scalp braid, this is what you're gonna get, okay? So there's your visible braid, okay? It started on the scalp and it ended off the scalp. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and fasten it because I have my 5 minutes. I'm gonna use my 5 minutes. Maybe I just did it in less than a minute and I was talking to you. I'm gonna use one of my rubber bands and fasten it at the bottom so it's not loose. And I'm gonna wait for the examiner to look at my braid. It's not the best braid, but it's a braid, and I gave it to her on the scalp. You could take your time. You could do one little piece. You can do, kind of messed up a little bit there, but make it nice and tight. Make sure that, you give her a braid on that quadrant. And you just wait. And the examiner is going to come and say, take it down because you're going to perform something else. All right. So let me just pick up what I dropped here. Okay. And when you take it down, just take it down. Don't waste time. Comb it out because you're going to be using this quadrant again. What are we going to do in this quadrant? In this quadrant, we're going to perform a soft press and a hard press. Hard press is also known as a double press, and I'm going to show you. Okay. So when you take it down, you're going to wait for instructions, and they're going to tell you you're going to have 2.5 minutes in the same quadrant. You're going to perform a soft press first using a pressing comb, which is yours truly. So you have 2.5 minutes to demonstrate to the examiner uh, a soft press in the left front section of your mannequin's hair. You may begin. So I'm going to go ahead and start at the bottom. That is the easiest way, guys. And I'm going to go ahead and take a small horizontal section, a thin, nice and even. So this is why I always have my new starts, my foundational class start with sectioning a lot, because sectioning is very important. You have to work neatly and organized. Okay, you're gonna pick up your pressing comb, and more importantly, you're gonna see a lot of people, and you're gonna hear it, not see it. You're gonna see it, but you're also gonna hear it. Okay, that sound is you're checking and seeing the temperature. Nothing is plugged in, but you're going to pretend that this comb is hot over 1,000 degrees, because it's a conventional hot comb that you put in a portable oven. Okay, so it should be on fire, and your fingers should not be touching it. That could be grounds for failing this portion of the exam. So you're going to start at the bottom. When you pick up your hot comb, just make sure they hear that sound. And again, don't adjust your camera. Yeah, I'm lefty. Okay. This is how you're going to do a soft press. A soft press is like a very soft silk press on textured hair. You're going to go in with your comb, make sure that it is detangled first. You're going to transfer your comb like you do, and you use a rat tail comb. You can use any comb. I like the rat tail comb because it sections for me. You're going to insert the pressing comb. And then you're going to take what you're holding with your other hand, and you're going to turn the comb, the back of the pressing comb. And you're going to go ahead and go downward, nice and softly. You can put your comb in there as if you're protecting the scalp with the comb, because that is what the examiner wants to see. So you do the one pass on the top, and then you're going to go in. Make sure you put the comb there in the bottom, turn, and then turn the pressing comb down. Now you've done that section. This comb can go back on the table, and you're going to grab another section. What you're going to do is keep doing the soft press. It's once on top, once in the bottom. You pass it once on top, once in the bottom. I'm going to do it again. And you start at the bottom. You take a horizontal section. You clip up the rest of your hair, the hair out of the way. You detangle it. And every time you pick up your pressing comb, I'm going to do it with my right hand. You're going to go in. Don't touch the brass part. They don't want to see that. You're going to go ahead. Make sure that the brass part does not touch the scalp. And you're going to go down nicely. And then you're going to pick up that same section. You're going to go in. Don't touch the scalp. Make sure your comb is there. Turn it. The back of the comb does the pressing. Somehow you have to kind of ensure that the only thing that's touching the scalp and following the hot comb is your comb. Okay? They're going to tell you to stop. So say I did 2 sections, and they just say you can stop because you have 2.5 minutes showing them a soft press. They're going to tell you now to demonstrate in the same section a hard press. So you're going to go ahead and pick up where you left off. You don't have to pin everything back up. They're going to know. So same thing. A hard press is also known as a double press. So you're going to go ahead, take a subsection, just what you can handle, because you know that the hair is dry. It has no product on it. And it's hard to do this, but you know the technique. And they know that it's not easy, okay? You're gonna go ahead and pick up your hot comb. And again, if you're testing it on your towel, you're gonna go ahead and apply it in there. Hold the tail, turn it. The back of the comb is what is straightening or pressing the hair. And then you're going to do it again. So it's a hard press is a double press. It's twice on each side. So I'm going to go again. Make sure that it does not touch the scalp. And go down. You're going to fight with it. So that's twice on that side. Let me fix that section. And then it's, make sure that section is nice and neat. And that's okay if this happens. And then twice on the other side. Again, take the hair, turn it. Okay? And you keep doing it until they tell you to stop. So soft press, one pass on the top side, one pass on the other side, and make sure that you're protecting the scalp and you don't touch the scalp with the pressing comb, and you don't touch it with your fingers, okay? They're going to tell you that section is done. You can go ahead and stop, and you can go ahead and pin up and away that left front section. Now you're going to go to the left back section. The left back section is going to be demonstrating with the marcel iron. They're going to tell you the first thing that you have to demonstrate is a number 6. The first thing that you have to demonstrate is a barrel curl. Again, don't pretend that this is plugged in, so you're not going to touch this with your hand, okay? Any way you open and close it, there's really no right or wrong way. It's your comfortability, okay? You have to have the comb in your hand because you have to show that when it comes to thermal heating, this is what they're looking at. Are you protecting the customer from getting burnt? And the way we protect them is usually with a carbon comb. But you don't have to buy carbon combs for the Stateboard, okay? They know that you need your license and you don't have money yet. I'm sure some of them know. But they're not going to check if this is a carbon comb. They're going to check safety, okay? So I like to start my caramel, especially that when I'm using heat, start it on top because it's longer, okay? So they're going to ask you to perform a barrel curl. Barrel curls are usually for people that have short hair, okay? And it's barreling. What? In the beginning, when I teach this, there's a lot of aha moments because, first of all, everyone's using wands these days, but you can't take the wand with you. Everyone's using the easiest way to curl hair. I get it. But the State Board of New Jersey wants you to do the old school way. They just want you to know how it all began. Okay? And how do you protect the scalp of that person? Because this is heated. Some of them go up to 500 or plus. So you always have to protect the scalp and protect the hair. So they're going to tell you to perform a barrel curl first. So I'm going to get the pins that I put with the rubber band because my barrel curl is going to be performed and then it's going to be pinned. And don't be surprised that if you're doing it and the examiner comes to you and says, show me the barrel curl, even though you did it and it's pinned up, just do it again, okay? So you're going to pick up your marcel iron And the first thing you do before you put it in the hair, this is why I have extra neck strips or the paper towels on your leave out items. You're going to open it, and in front of the examiner, you're just going to press it. You're going to open it and press. That's how you check the temperature. Because normally if this was really too hot, this white paper will turn yellow. So this is safety for the hair. So you'll do that once. You don't have to throw this away because you're going to do that again. You're going to take a horizontal section, and this is a barrel curl. You're going to comb out that section. Now, I'm going to show you the wrong way to do a barrel curl. And this is where people fail all the time. People seem to think that a barrel curl or any curl is you go ahead from the ends and you roll it all the way up. And then, so let me do this again. You take a section, you go all the way to the end, you roll it all the way up, and then you protect it with the comb. That's not a barrel curl. I'm going to teach you a barrel curl. This is a barrel curl. You're going to go ahead, check the temperature like we just did. Pass it once, twice, open and close. You're going to go in the middle. You're going to leave that in the middle. You're going to go ahead and turn. You're going to click. And then when you can turn again, the comb is underneath. You're going to hold. Then you're going to reverse. And then you're going to click out of your way. So when she comes to me and says, show me a barrel curl, and I hope you could see this. I'm going to do this again. Let's see if you can see this. I don't know. Okay. You're going to take a section. First, you're going to check the temperature. This is a barrel curl. Do that in front of the examiner with your neck strip or a paper towel. Remember, nothing's plugged in. You're going to take a horizontal section. Try not to take too much of a big section. Something easy. You're going to comb it out. Transfer your comb, right? You're going to pass it once because I'm thinking. You're going to be a little nervous. Don't pass it more than twice. Go in the middle. Leave that in the middle. Turn your iron. And then click, click, until most of it comes in. Then your comb is already underneath. Reverse, and then click out. Right? They know that it's not, I could put my my Marcel curling iron down, and I could go ahead and clip this. They just want to see the technique. They know that you can't plug this in and it's not going to be perfect, but you know the difference between a barrel curl. Okay? Now they're going to ask you, after you performed a barrel curl, they want to see either a number 6 curl, depending on the length of your mannequin's hair, or you could do a number 8. I did say in the very beginning that I was going to show you number 8. Her hair is a little too short. If her hair was longer, which I don't recommend that you bring anything longer than this length of hair to the exam, because you got to do a stateboard in 35 minutes or less, stateboard basic set, and having it too long is going to mess up your finger waves. It's going to drag that down. So if I were you, give her the one length up to the base, and let's call it a day. Do your barrel and your number 6. A number 8, they will tell you it's optional based on the length of your hair. You can't do a number 8 on this. I'm going to try and show you without the rod or the shell touching me, because once it touches me, I burn myself. Burnt, like hypothetically, because nothing is plugged in. Okay, so let me show you your number 6. So I'm going to go ahead. The examiner saw my barrel. Now I'm going to go ahead and test the temperature of my Marcel. I'm going to go ahead and take a section that I can manage, horizontal section, and comb it out, because if it's tangled up, it ain't gonna help me. This one is a little easier than the barrel. So you're gonna go ahead and pass it twice. The third time, you're gonna go ahead and take the tail, turn it, hold the tail until you get a full turn, and then feed it in. It's like the shell is eating the tail. Yum, 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 yum. Don't touch the tail. And then what you could do is roll it up to the scalp. It's already intertwined in there as a 6. Do not use the comb to remove. Reverse and then click out. Okay? I hope you can see this. Let me do it again. Number 6. You're showing the number 6. Test the temperature. Grab a section. Let me see if I can put the lights on so you can see. Maybe that'll help. Okay. You're going to go ahead and take a subsection. A nice clean subsection. I try not to take it too wide, so it doesn't have to be so wide where you're not in control. So this is your number 6. You pass it once, pass it twice. Go ahead and hold it. Don't go to the end. Turn the rod and the hair. This is a number 6. The tail's dangling. Then you're going to go ahead, open, close, yum, 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 yum. And then turn it up to the scalp, right? Hold, and then reverse and click out. That is your number 6. You put your curly iron down, and you could go ahead and clip this curl with the other. I put 2 clips with the rubber bands, and I put it in the center and onto the scalp. If the examiner didn't see it, they're gonna ask you to do it again. If you're confident enough in doing the barrel curl and the the number 6, you're gonna be fine. Because they know you're not gonna get a perfect curl because nothing's plugged in. Okay, this is a number 8. I'm gonna show you number 8. Number 8 is your spiral curl. Again, this is optional. You don't have to do it. So if you are taking, which I hope you don't, let me pick up what fell. If you are taking a mannequin with longer hair than this, then you can skip the 6 and go straight to, if you're comfortable with the spiral. You're going to take a vertical section of that long mane of hair. I hope you don't bring it. You're going to hold your marcel iron. I'm going to just teach you once because, again, this hair is too short for a number 8. I'm going to try. You're going to go ahead and turn it. You're going to click, and then it has to cross over. Click, and then you're going to hold it vertically, and then you're going to get a spiral. You're not going to see a spiral. It's not plugged in, okay? But that is the technique. I cannot do it perfectly on this medium length hair, okay? What they're looking for is that barrel technique and that number 6 or the 8. But you're not going to be dumb enough to take a long hair mannequin just because you're more comfortable with the 8 curl spiral than you are with a 6. I mean, don't. Practice. Practice. That makes perfect. So you're going to be done with your marcel. They're going to tell you, okay, you can pin that up and clip the right back section out of your way. You're done with the thermal curling and waving in the left back section of your mannequin. That one's done. So I'm gonna be like, whoo, thank God. Okay, so you want to section out that. Okay, section that out because you're gonna need this hair to be, you're gonna detangle this out. because you want it tangle free, right? Tangle free. Where did I put that clip? Okay. Now in the right front quadrant of your mannequin, they're gonna want you to do a dry set comb out. That is your tease, okay? So your tease is, you have to tease that whole panel. And you have 5 minutes to do so. So if you guys don't know how to tease, start practicing, okay? They want you to do some type of 1980s booth, make it look nice, and they want you to smooth it. So here goes. This is how you tease. You're gonna go ahead with your rat tail comb. This is the best way. Start packing it to the middle, not to the ends. Keep packing it, go as fast as you can. And when I say pack it, pack it. Because what's gonna happen, guys, is they're gonna check that tease, and they're gonna run their pen or your comb through it. And if the hair doesn't get stuck in that tease, if you don't have that 80s tease in there and it's soft and it's just not, then you're going to fail this portion of the test. I'm going to tell you right now, you can only fail 3 things in the State Board of New Jersey. 3 things. Out of the 16 things that they're going to have you do, and I think it's about 16 things, I'll give you a rough number. You can only fail 3 things. And once you fail, you have, like, they scale you on a 1 to 10, 6 being a failure, 6 and below. If you have 3 6s, you have to come back. Then you fail. And they're going to write it down what you failed at. Okay? And they'll tell you if you ask. So don't let the small things mess you up. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring that tease that I poofed up. I'm not going to comb it out. But what I'm doing, and let me show you, turn her around to see. Now I'm going to smooth it out a little bit, but not comb it out, but just smooth it out. Because what I want is that when I put my comb in there, it gets stuck. It has so much volume. And if you're not good at teasing and you feel like when you smooth it out, it's going to. So what you're going to do is that I'm going to make like some type of something. And I'm going to try and smooth it out a little bit better. Where she's looking a little. So once I smooth it out with my hairspray, that's going to help me a little bit more. And you could do this at Stateboard. So if you feel that, if, and only if, you feel that you don't do a good tease, but this can help you, then take the hairspray. The hairspray is optional to use. And I do this really quick in 5 minutes. Smooth it out so you don't see the rat's nest. And then I wait for the examiner to come. They're going to come to you and they're going to say, you're done. You're going to either take your comb or they're going to use their pen or pencil that they're writing their notes with. And they're going to go ahead and do this and check your tease. If your tease comes out like this, somewhere in here, you didn't pass the dry set comb out, okay? And then they're going to go ahead and that's going to pass because that comb got stuck in there and that's what they want. They're going to say, take it down. So that's where you got to detangle it, okay? And take that down right away. So, that hairspray smells good. So you want to detangle that ASAP. But you see how fast that was? The tease is easy. It's a rat nest, but what you're doing is packing and creating volume. Okay, so comb that out. Even if her hair comes out, comb that out. They're not grading you on this part. When that examiner has checked your tease and she says, or he, comb it out, thank you. They're not going to say you did a good job. They're not there to tell you any of your results. You got to wait 2 weeks. It takes at least 10 business days for you to get your results. And how are you going to know you pass? Check your state board, look up your name. If it's pending, pretty much you're good to go sometimes. If it's not pending, your name's not coming up after 10 days, you'll be getting a letter in the mail saying that you have to go back to boards. And you can always request to see what you failed at, what you need to work on, because the examiners have criterias on their sheets, and they will actually put it down on the paper as to what you did and what you didn't do, what you were expected to do and you didn't do and you failed to do. Whether it be in the thermal curling section, it'll be in the dry set coma, it'll be in the shaving, you will know for next time. And yes, you would have to pay again to take it. Okay, so I always say DIRT, which is do it, DIRT, FT. And that's do it right the first time. Okay? So videos like this, there are other videos. Be careful though. New Jersey is New Jersey. So look for New Jersey State Board Practical of Cosmetology, okay? Because you're going to get other practical instructional videos out there, but they're not from the State Board in New Jersey. So just be careful. Okay, so that's the right front of your mannequin. That's the dry set coma. And lastly, for hairstyling is the right back section, and that's blow drying. Oh my gosh, super easy, right? So I would always start, we always start our blow drying at the nape of the neck. There you can use a blow dryer with a concentrator, without. They're not going to fail you. If you have an old blow dryer, that's fine. Remember those cords, anything electrical with a cord, don't have it dangling on the floor, okay? You're going to go ahead. Now, we don't have to test the temperature of a blow dry, but we do have to properly section. We do have to make sure that we're not burning the hair. And we are following the blow dryer with the brush, okay? So you could use a round brush, you could use whatever brush you want. And I'm forgetting what, okay. So you're gonna go ahead, and what they expect you to do is follow the blow dryer, follows back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. They don't want to see this. They don't want to see this. They don't want to see this. That could be a blow dry failure in that portion. What they want to see is basically if you're starting at the nape of the neck, which you should, the head should go down, and almost the blow dryer is coming at you, not on the brush, okay? And you could do this, lift it up, go underneath, and go this way, and then go down. And then put the blow dryer down, grab another section with your combs that you have here. You could put the brush down, I just make sure I always have some type of comb or brush in my hand. Okay. And grab another section. And again, roll the brush. Or if it's a paddle brush, say it's a paddle brush or a regular brush, right? You want to make sure that you're doing this, that you're not keeping the blow dry. Because remember, it's not plugged in, but if you're doing this, you're burning the hair and you're burning the scalp. So what they want to see is make sure that if it's a rough dry, you're just following the brush and you're moving the blow dryer and you're not touching the hair with the blow dryer with the hair. And they're going to tell you to stop. They give you 5 minutes to show the technique of blow drying. And that one's like super easy. So this is the hairstyling portion. I'm going to put the bag items, list the bag items for the hairstyling portion of the exam in the description below. Like, subscribe, share. And I'm pretty much done today. Today I've uploaded a lot of videos for you. So I know that there's going to be a lot of exams next week, and in July we're going all the way to December. I mean, not, I'm gonna say me, I'm just saying like our industry is going to be examining a lot up until the end of the year, and we're just gonna keep going. As you know, boards just came back in February, like from one day to the next after being under the COVID shutdown, emergency shutdown for a while. But new governor, new rules, and now we are back to going back to board. So me as an instructor have to prepare my students. And I just want to give a shout out. I had my first round of students after 6 years of not having to send my students to the state board practical of New Jersey. This year was my first 7. What a beautiful number. It's a godly number. So my first 7 senior graduated students, class of 2026, you know who you are. Yay! Um, went to state board practical. They were very nervous. They worked very hard. And after 10 days, which was yesterday, we got the results. And all of them passed, successfully passed. There were 6 girls, 1 guy. And they are all licensed stylists. So right now they're at the point of getting their licenses, and they are working in the industry. Some are going to wait a while, some are going to go to college, but the fact is that they have a trade. They have the opportunity to be an entrepreneur, to make their own money, their own schedules. Some of them with their cosmetology license will focus on skincare, some will focus on barbering, some will focus on manicuring. Under the cosmetology of hairstyling with 1,200 hours, a license in New Jersey will afford you anything that you want in this industry, whether it be hairstyling, skin care, being an esthetician, being a barber. You could do it all under this scope of practice. And so I just want to take the moment I miss them. They've graduated already. I know they're very happy and they're going on furthering their lives and learning what the real world is all about. But I just want to give a shout out to my senior graduates. Once again, I am so, so proud. I know this year has not been easy, but you did it. You did it. You put up with me and you did it. And my hat's off to you. I love you guys. And you know what? It's public information. So you know what? I'm going to mention them. I am proud of the following: Kira, Ashlyn, Jonathan, Sabrina. I don't want to forget anybody. Juliana, Paige, Blair. I'm proud of Blair. I'm proud of Elizabeth. I'm proud of Julian. So I'm going to mention about 10 of them because Unfortunately, there were 3 that didn't get to go, but I'm going to mention all my students, and I'm so super proud of you. So I did mention, right? Ashlyn, Kira, Sabrina, Jonathan, uh, who did Paige, Juliana, Gigi, yeah, what's up? Gigi, Blair, Elizabeth, and Julian. I am super, super proud of you. And I'm here for you. And I hope these videos will help you too. Those that didn't get to go to the State Board Practical, you got the videos, you got me, you got my number, you got my email, you know how to get in touch with me. And for those of you that are watching too, let me help you. Of course, it's going to cost you, but we'll talk about that later on. So I'm going to call it a night. I got a lot to do. The next videos, like, share, and subscribe. Oh, and I want to give out another shout out too. I have 2 beautiful glam baby daughters, 2 beautiful glam daughters that I want to give a shout out to, who are watching me, who are probably bored with this stuff because one is 6 years old, Isabella, Bella girl, what's up? And my beautiful Mimi, who's 4 years old. And I just want to give a shout out. I love you watching Miss C. So I want to give a shout out to them because they are my inspiration. Okay, so that's about it. Let's see. So your next portions of the exam, so we've done the professional appearance. That was video number 2. How to set up with your leave out items. I have that all in video number 2. Video number 3 was your shaving, how to prep, how to perform the mock shave, the men's shave, 14 strokes. I also learned how to download PDF file. So if you don't get it downloaded, if you can't download it and print it, just email me. We'll figure it out. Okay, I'll send that to you. We did the shaving, and then we did I decided not to make these videos so super long. So what I did was I had the facial, the tweezing and waxing, the shampooing and the scalp treatment in video 4. And then we just did the hairstyling one. That's all compacted together. So the hairstyling video is comprised of sectioning your mannequin in 4 quadrants, and you saw it on the scalp braiding, any 3-strand braid, hair pressing, soft press and hard press. And then in the right back, you have your thermal curling barrel, and number 6, you have to practice that. And then in the right front, you have your teasing, which is your dry set comb out. That's what they call it. And then that's in the right front section, and then in the right back section you have your blow drying technique, and that's all in one bag. Okay, so I want to thank you for putting up with me, letting me into your cosmetology world exam. And what are we doing? We're prepping with the New Jersey State Board, and with who? Miss C. See, a lot of you guys thought I couldn't like move my head like that, right? But I can. Anyway, I'll see you in the next videos. And that's going to be your hair cutting and shaping is next. That's one bag. So that'd be your video number 6. And then you have your uh chemical services and chemical relaxing. That's another bag. And then you have your state board basic technique, which is, and we're going to go over it. You're going to have 35 minutes to perform 4 volume on base rollers. It could be 4, it could be 5, it could be any color. We'll go over that. Diagonal pin curls on the right side of the head, perm rods on the left side of the head, a roll, 3 finger waving ridges, a finger wave like the Gatsby. You have to learn that, and end it with a roll of pin curls. Everything gets graded separately. This is the majority part. If you're taking the exam and you haven't failed anything, the worst case scenario is that you don't do good on the state board, but you cannot fail 3 parts. There's 5 parts here. Diagonal pin curls and pin curls are graded together. Your roller set is 1, 2, 3. There's 5 parts here. So you have to get them right, okay? So my girls, your people, we'll meet up again. We'll get this done. And I'll be back. I'll be back soon. And you're going to have all the videos you need for the state board practical with Miss C. Have a good night, guys. Love you. Be safe. Enjoy your summer.